the digital labs, and what basically happens here is uh, the processes that we have got by scanning your SAP, and then we have, of course, this we can define it as you want in terms of how we want to drive your bots. There are quite a lot of bots that works in the backend to drive this whole autonomous testing, right? So the first one is the discovery bot, which I showed you earlier, and then it prepares the test cases in terms of how you want to drive it, and then you have execution, which can be API or UI based as well. And then you have the complete documentation, the monitoring during runtime, sign off, and the management part. So let me go to the status console and go ahead and launch this one. So it takes me to a process wizard. Now, if you're a new implementation, right? If you're going for a new implementation, there is a way how we could do that as well. But this I would have taken it from an existing landscape where it comes up, the platform KTern itself comes up with a list of different processes across the different departments: finance, sales and distribution, materials management, PP, and then you have a catalog view itself in terms of how you want to drive it. And then you go to the prepare. This is where it gets interesting, right? So if you do a prepare bot, and if you look at the list of test cases, mostly it is API based that it has run so far, and then there is also a UI based that we have here. And when you look at these test scripts, it gives you the kind of and this is based on the process map that you got earlier and the script sequence itself in terms of how it has run, right? And this is primarily, if you look at it, it could be unit testing for a consultant, or you could do an integrated or a string testing in terms of combining a couple of processes. So that is also possible, and you have the complete testing scenarios. I'm not going here, but if you go to the execute mode, this is where you get the results, the evidences in terms of how a particular bot has run, and the evidence is captured here in terms of whether it has passed or failed, and that could be a UI based as well. So if you look at so we have a connector which can do a Fiori based or a UI based, which it could be SAP GUI as well. And if you look at the screenshots, it captures all the screens where the different data was entered, and it gives you a complete scenario of how a particular testing was done. So these are the two examples. One is the API based, and it also throws a list of defects after it has run, and it captures more of and most of the tool in the market does this UI based using three-dimensional testing, but ours is slightly different in terms of how we understand the HTML5 and the unstable IDs that comes with it, and how we do a three-dimensional approach. And then there is a complete analysis and the time that it has taken, and this could be helpful in terms of doing a regression testing, and it could do more. So we have both the API based testing as well as the UI based testing, and then it throws the defects as well, right? So and one of the typical thing that we would have seen is there is a separate set of consultants working on documentation, and even if they document, we are not sure where it is. But here, based on how the product and this is configurable, the kind of documentation that you want to create, and this saves a whole lot of time for the consultants and the consulting company. And the end of the day, the customers would also be able to see what their assets are. I hope you are able to see the downloaded document that I'm scrolling. Jacob, is the document visible?
Yes, it is right now.
Right. So this is configurable, but it would have a list of test cases and how you ran the steps. So that's auto documentation. You don't see that. And the complete monitoring, right, in terms of how a set of test cases was executed, the number of bot plans, the scenarios, the one I mentioned in terms of the value, volume, and velocity analysis in terms of different T codes, and which has higher significance in terms of running. Uh, that's a complete dashboard that you have in terms of the test statistics and the defects that has come out of it. Now, imagine most of the thing being done by the platform itself based on the data that you have, and with the less manual intervention. We wouldn't say we are 100% autonomous, but that's where, uh, but we are close. We are close than most of the products, and then you have a complete sign off, which is more of an orchestration in terms of your complete test suite and how you want to drive it. And there are customers who are using it, and enormous value that they see. And this sign off has a complete view of how you want to build it, and have a go no go before a live system that happens. And then once you do that, it's on the run mode. You can keep and when you go between different releases, it helps you to manage the complete testing, right? So if you look at it as a whole, the view is the life of a test engineer or test manager, or be it an IT analyst, a functional technical consultant, process owners, project managers, delivery heads, IT directors, CIOs. So there is one single platform that can stay with you, connected cognitively, and help you in terms of completely driving it.